Good evening, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Kernersville Board of Aldermen. We're glad to have you join us here tonight. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, and we'll begin with an invocation by Evangelist Wanda Lawrence of Jehovah Shammah Ministries.
Bless you. Everyone stand in certainly respect to Mayor and to all of the board and to everyone here. Eternal God, our Heavenly Father, we're so thankful to you, Lord, that you have allowed us to come together again. And God, we pray that you bless, oh God, tonight this meeting, that you would just put your hands around everyone, God. And God, we ask, God, that you lead them and guide them, God, that the decisions made would be of positive, God, that would benefit this town. God, we're just so thankful, Lord. Lead us and guide us. Help us, oh God, to be the town that you would have us to be. In the midst of so much that's going on in this world, we thank you, Lord, for those that are leading us, God, that know who you are. And God, that is so important. We just thank you so much. Bless us, cover us under your blood. And God, will praise you. We'll give you glory. We'll give you honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Evangelist. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. All right, we'll begin this evening with speakers from the floor. I have signed up Sharon Barrier.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Barrier. I live at 815 Piney Grove Road here in Kernersville. And I came by just because I wanted to address a couple things. And this is a bit impromptu. I did not decide to do this until late in the day, so forgive me. But the first thing I wanted to do was I watch the Aldermen meetings online every week, every month. And I've watched the dead horse of the pool be beat by people that have chosen to speak. And I just wanted to say thank you for the pool. I think that it is a wonderful thing for our community, even though I have heard some negative things on people that were not here and were not able to comment on whether they would or would not want to have a pool. The general public is very excited, and you may not have the opportunity to talk to them because they don't come to these meetings. And I just think it's very important to know. I mean, as it is right now, if you were to go to Branchwood Pool and not a member of the community, it's $525 a season. It's $415 at Pine Knolls. The ability for a homeowner here to have their own pool, if they had the money, is restricted because the amount of septic tanks, because you have to reserve a certain amount of land for that as well. So the idea of a community pool, I think, is wonderful. And I just wanted to say thank you for having some foresight into recreation, fun for your constituents that are here in your town. So that was just the first part. The other part is, I wanted to ask if there was anything that y'all could do to assist with the rate increase at Duke. I didn't know if there was anything that you could do as a town to go before the Energy Commission and request that they reassess the potential of increasing our rates 13% to 15%. I did just a handful of research. Like I said, this was impromptu. You know, Duke sent the things out a couple days ago. They're supposed to go and vote on it like in a week, so no one really has a lot of time. But I did want to point out that at their shareholders meeting, which is right here, it may say things like, the president and the CEO, the salaries were $1,200,000, but their actual income was $13 million. That's because of their stock options. It's because of, let me see what it was called, short-term and long-term incentives, which I'm unclear on exactly what they are. The former chair and CEO, while it says the salary is $375,000, their income was over $8 million. The executive vice president and CEO, while his income is $847,000 and some change, they actually had $5 million in income. So I don't think the problem with Duke is the amount of money. I think that they could potentially restructure their salaries or find the money within their coffers if they're able to pay those kind of bonuses. It even states that an increase of this one person in 2025 went from 115% increase to 150%. For the long-term incentive, from 475% to 750%. Now, I don't know about the rest of you or where you have worked before. I don't think that I've ever gotten a raise that was more than 10%. So I just wanted to see if there was anything collectively that could be done by you all for our community to try to stave this off. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor and Board, Alderman Sabanis emailed this morning, actually called and then emailed about this issue as well, and you have in front of you a resolution from the Board of Aldermen in opposition to the proposed rate increase by Duke Energy. And one thing that Ms. Barrier pointed out is actually their income, but one thing that's in the resolution that I didn't hear her say was their net income for 2025 was just $5 billion. So, you know, they're asking for the rate increase to do improvements to their facilities and yet leave their net income where it is currently at so that they can continue to pay out to the stockholders instead of using their net income and what they made that year in profits to help with the improvements. They are asking to raise the rates and use that differential to help with improvements. So the resolution is there in front of you. You can certainly discuss it at any point. You can adopt it now if you'd like to or not, or discuss it at the end. Matters to be brought up by the board members or however you'd like to do it. But there is a resolution there. I think you told me it has to be to them by the 12th. Is that correct?
They have the public hearing on June 3rd in Durham, and I think that's the last time that you can submit public comments beforehand. So ideally, if we decide to vote in favor of this, we would do it at today's meeting. That way they have plenty of time to see it, and Keith can submit it to the North Carolina Utilities Commission.
And they do have an open period for comments from citizens, boards, so forth, like that.
It seems to me that every citizen in Kernersville is impacted by this. Everybody lives somewhere. If you rent an apartment, you're paying, an increased residential rate to do that. Your rate is going up. And it impacts our businesses as well. It's not just on residential customers, but the brunt of it does fall on residential customers. So I've reviewed this resolution. I appreciate Alderman Sabanis bringing it to our attention, and I would certainly, Madam Mayor, be in favor of our adopting this resolution. And I hope we'll have a unanimous vote. Thank you.
So Curtis, would that be appropriate at the moment or at the end of the meeting?
I think you could certainly do it now. It would be an appropriate time if you choose to. Since the speaker from the floor came up and spoke about it, the board is commenting on it. You have the resolution there, so I think it's certainly appropriate to do it now if the board chooses.
And this is our regular meeting, so we can consider matters that are not on the agenda.
Correct.
All right. Any other comments? Did you have a motion, Bill or Sarah?
I move to adopt the resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the Town of Kernersville in opposition to the proposed rate increase by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, which happens to be docket number E7 sub 1329 before the North Carolina Utilities Commission.
Second.
We've got a motion by Alderman Sabanis, second by Alderman Pegram. All in favor? It's unanimous. So how do we deliver this to Raleigh, Curtis?
I think they have an email address for comments that you can email comments, written comments in. So Mr. Rook will email it tomorrow.
If you decide to go, be sure to take a printed copy. Okay, is there any other speaker from the floor? That was the only card I had, but I don't want to overlook anybody. All right, we will move on then to item B, which is a continuation of the 2025 annual reports and 2026 budget request. And we have tonight here with us the Salvation Army.
Hey there, it's a pleasure to be with you again this year. My name is Brandon McCann. I'm the Development Director for the Area Command here for the Salvation Army staff. We have with us our Area Commander, Major Chuck Whiten, also our chairperson of our Advisory Council, Diane Harper Long. And then if any of our volunteers are here, if you'll stand or wave. We have one back there as well. I'll be very quick with you just to give you an update of our what we're doing here in Kernersville. So next slide. And then just hit play there. It's a 1-minute video. Hopefully it'll play for us. If not, we'll. Should be able to hit in the center there. I think there's a. It's like it's not wanting to work with us. And it's,
I don't know, many people realize North Carolina is 9th in the nation in food insecurity. Forsyth County is one of the largest publics in the state. From June of 23 to June of 24, we went from 600 boxes a month to over 900. The need has been great, and it's increasing. We're doing about 20 new families a month. Every time you're able to walk in and out of a grocery store, or sit in a restaurant, or go to bed at night and not be hungry, or wake up and not be hungry, you need to realize that all around you in this community and in this nation, there are hungry people. We have several people that are homeless, and we know they're staying at different open places here at night, but they come back and they thank you each week, and they cry because they feel like nobody cares but us. I started coming 1 day a week, and then it was 2, and then it was 3, and it's, I don't know, we have each day is a different group and a different family. You know, the children got to see the giving, because I think giving is taught. Just to see that there are people that care. I think there's so many people in this community who don't think anybody really cares about them. We have some volunteers who are out of work right now and young, and they know that this has become their family, and they've said that to all of us. Some of us have time and resources, but whatever you can do and give is not, there will be no waste. But I know we're doing God's work. I feel that in my heart.
all right. We'll move to the next slide. So really our goal here with the food pantry is to combat food insecurity in Kernersville. 98% of what we serve, 95 to 98 are Kernersville residents. We do have some overflow from other communities. Next slide. So it really began in 1994. The food pantry really outgrew the local efforts. So the Salvation Army took over the food pantry in 2018, and we currently are in the old library that we rent from the town. That happened in 2019, and we've been there ever since. Next slide. We're the second largest food pantry behind the Clemens Food Pantry. Last year, we served on average with 396 households per month, and that comes out to about 1,100 people per month. That takes a lot of volunteers per year. On average, there's about 152 volunteers per month that runs the shelter. And last year, we provided just over 11,000 food boxes. And you'll see in front of me the size of the food box that we provide. Next slide. Food box weighs approximately 40 pounds. When I first came on board, my perception of a food pantry or canned food, we actually provide folks with fresh meat, fruit, even flowers occasionally when those come available, even desserts, and no food is left unwasted. The local reptile center comes and picks up any leftovers that we have in terms of produce to feed to their animals. Next slide. We're open on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Most of you have seen the cars lined out early but we distribute 11:30 to 12:15. Family comes once per week. We do employ 2 part-time employees to run the pantry, and we have 2 full-time employees who are officers of the local corps. We also do things coat drives, clothing drives. We're giving out diapers. We're very appreciative of the Kernersville Police Department when they tout their praise, helping us when we get our TFAP delivery from the Second Harvest Food Bank. We've partnered with them every year for the past few years with our toy drive to make sure their toy drive is successful. So we appreciate them, and also the fire department as well. They've been great partners with us. Our primary food source is from the 6 local grocery stores, so things that are getting ready to expire or close to expiration. We're taking every day, picking up food from those 6 local stores. Once a month, we also, because of the level and the size of our food pantry, qualify for what's called TFAP, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and that comes from Second Harvest Food Bank. We go through a very extensive internal audit from the Salvation Army every year, and then we also go through an external financial independent audit from our auditors. We're also audited by TFAP through the Second Harvest Food Bank as well, and then we are advised by our Board of Advisors, which are residents of the town of Kernersville. You have to qualify certain you have to fill out an application. So, for example, folks that qualify are those that are on, supplemental nutrition assistance, Medicaid, temporary assistance, and the list kind of goes on. We do provide temporary emergency assistance as well for maybe disaster relief or a fire or different one-on-one kind of independent emergency needs. And like I said, about 98% of those who we serve are residents of the town. And at the end, really just we're asking for consideration again this year for funding. Our grant request is for $20,000, which is the same as last year. And that helps cover maintenance of our vehicle, gasoline, covering supplies, some food. And also a big need that we've had recently is for a Spanish interpreter to help manage our translation and conversation with our clients. That's the end. Take any questions. If not, I appreciate your consideration and previous funding, and we're glad to be a partner with the town.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Does the board have any questions? Thank you for your presentation. We appreciate all of your volunteers.
Yes, I would just like to echo what the mayor just said. Thank you for the work that you do here in our community. It's much needed, and we thank you for what you do each and every day.
Thank you very much.
I think too, the grocery stores to sort out the food and have that available. That's a really great thing too. Everybody working together. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the next item.
Madam Mayor and Board, you have in your packet the auditing contract for fiscal year end 26, so it's for the 25-26 year. The initial, not the initial, but there's a larger contract that was approved for Thompson, Price, Scott, and Adams to do the audit for a 3-year period, but state law requires us to also have approval each year for the Board of Aldermen. So they are the firm that did our audit for fiscal year 24, 25. This contract is to allow them to do it for 25, 26, and then next year at this time, you'll have one for 26, 27. So they've already done it 1 year out of their 3-year proposal, so this will be the second.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Got a motion by Alderman Apple,
Second.
second by Mayor Pro Tem Gorham. All in favor? It's unanimous. All right, we are to item D, consideration of a resolution declaring personal property surplus and authorizing disposal.
You have 3 pieces of property that we would like to declare surplus. One is an office desk, the other one is a credenza and hutch, and the other one is some trash and recycling collection bins. We didn't get those in the auction that just wrapped up, so we're just going to go ahead. It's pretty easy to do the 3 pieces, so if the board approves it, we'll put those out on auction as well and proceed forward with that. And they will be on GovDeals. I think these will be exclusively on govdeals.com.
All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion for approval?
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Gorham, second by Alderman Pegram. All in favor? It's unanimous. All right, item E, consideration of a resolution approving an equipment lease for a mower.
This is the, as it says, the lease for the mowers in Parks and Recreation. It's in the budget for 25, 26, so this is a lease for those pieces of equipment. You have in there the terms of the agreement, 60 months at $3,004 a month. And you also have the pieces of equipment. There's 5 pieces of equipment that we will be leasing as well.
I have some questions.
Go ahead.
I saw that it's 60 months and all of that. Who is going to be maintaining the equipment? Is that part of the lease, that the leaser will be providing maintenance, or are we going to be providing maintenance on those machines?
I think the small daily maintenance we do, don't we, Ernie? And then if it's something major, it goes back to the company to do, correct?
So we are responsible for all preventive maintenance, tire pressure, oil, lubricants, all that kind of stuff. Anything that's beyond preventive maintenance, if engine blows up or anything like that, since it's a lease, they'll come replace the unit, and you'll just continue on with the lease.
And I saw that there's a mandatory purchase of $1, or the purchase option of $1. What does that mean?
So the way that the leases work, we got this from an old employee that used to be in a golf course. Most golf courses use this lease process. They go bid it out, they lease you the equipment for the price that you've got. Then at the end of the term, if you want to purchase and keep the piece of equipment, if you still feel like it has life, you can purchase it for $1. Otherwise, they'll come pick up the equipment, and they'll refurbish it, and they'll sell the units as used equipment. Is how they use the leases.
That's what I thought it meant, but I just wanted to make sure.
And I think we've done it both ways. We've kept some pieces of equipment before.
Yeah, well, like
and
the
then
big reel
sits on
mowers,
back.
the ones that we use to mow the athletic fields, those are some high-dollar units. We've kept some of those that we still felt had life in them. But most of the residual turns, stand-up mowers, sprayers, by the time you get to 3 years, they're not worth $1. So, yeah.
And so the Toro Multi-Pro and the Harper VersaVac, those are going to be new when we get them, and then
New
the other
equipment.
3 items are pre-owned.
The other 3 items will be new units. They'll go out. The VersaVac is a new item added to the lease package.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Do you have any more questions? Okay. All right. Do I have a motion? Got a motion to move approval?
Second.
Got a second? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Keith, did you get that? It was Bill and then JR. All right. That brings us to item F, which we had a robust discussion of at a prior meeting. Mr. Swisher.
Yeah, this is regarding the bonding with a child. after birth. And you have in your packet some updated, not updated, but some revised language. We've included just the page of the personnel policy that it refers to. And you'll see item or section D, childbirth or placement of a child. And it's the entitlement to leave for a birth, adoption, or child placement expires 1 year after the date of the childbirth or placement. That's current language. And the proposed language is leave for bonding with a child may be taken intermittently within the 12-month period following the birth or placement, subject to the approval and scheduling requirements established by the employee's department head. Currently, it gives the town manager that authority. The department head shall have discretion to determine the manner in which intermittent leave may be taken, including the frequency, duration, and operational scheduling of such leave, consistent with operational needs of the town and applicable law. And so what we've done is Angie met with the department heads to kind of see how they needed that intermittent leave to be taken, whether all at once or however you want to do it. And you see further down in your packet, the recommended schedule for that, the intermittent policy per department. Intermittent or the administration department, no restraints within the 12-month allotment period, meaning they can take it 1 day at a time, 2 days, however they want to take it. Community development taken in no less than 2-week increments. Finance, no restraints. Fire taken in 6 week increments. HR, IT, and Parks and Rec, no restraints. Police taken in 2 6-week increments. And then public services taken in no less than 1 week increments. So it is a little different for departments. That is due to the scheduling of the departments. Obviously the biggest issue we've had has been in fire rescue, where their schedule is 24 hours on, 48 off, or something like that. But it's also can be an issue in police for coverage. So each department has decided how they would like to take it. This will be part of it if the board chooses to adopt it. So really the longest anybody would have to take it would be 6 weeks in either police or fire. They can still take it, but it would have to be 6 weeks at a time, which I know that was really the kind of topic of discussion last time. We didn't want them to have to take it all consistently. I think the board said we don't want them to be forced to take all 12 weeks at once. Can you look at changing it? So we did. We went back, and as you can see, there are some departments that do it 1 week at a time, one at 2 weeks, and then the other two, which is really where the scheduling crunch kind of comes in, would like to see it at 6 weeks increments, which is fair. It makes it easier for Chief Tilley, Chief Aldermen to schedule the folks. It's more fair for the folks that are on duty as well. They know coming in that, they're not going to be short-staffed having to fill in for somebody to work overtime, because we don't want to get into the situation where we're forcing folks to work overtime. So with this, we know 6 weeks out, we'll know that they've got to be there. They just can't take it last minute that day. So I'll be glad to answer any questions. Ms. Whitley's here. She can answer any as well. Knows a lot more about it than I do. And Chief Alderman, Chief Tilley as well, for their respective departments.
So anyone who's following along and not looking at the specific documents, there's still a policy you can take all 12 weeks consecutively. There'd be an option of intermittent, and so these different weeks are the application consistent within each department of the intermittent policy, instead of it all being on the town manager's discretion when we have several hundred employees who work for the town.
Correct. And currently right now it's the town manager's discretion, quite honestly. You do need a policy in place that you can follow, because that way you don't leave yourself open for one person saying, well, you did it this way for that one, not going to do it this way for me. That way they know going in as well. The employees can look this up in our personnel policy, and they'll know going in ahead of time what's expected of them regarding bonding with the child and intermittent leave.
Does anyone have questions of Ms. Whitley?
Madam Mayor, I have one.
Go ahead, Bill.
I have two questions, actually. Number one, is what we're doing consistent with what you're seeing in for lack of a better term, civilian industry and businesses and companies outside of the town? And the second question I have is, as we are implementing this, the proof is in the pudding. Do we have a mechanism in place, for example, if the fire rescue department in implementing this policy sees some problems with it, is there a mechanism for them to come back and say, you know, we really need to tweak this one a little bit? 2 questions, please.
Thank you, sir. As far as the industry-wide, it's up to the employer to determine if they want to even recognize intermittent leave. Among my peers, maybe 50-50. Most people do it consecutively. So that was our first thing that we, started out with. So we felt this gives you a little bit more transparency, from an employee perspective. So I feel like this is a good compromise. People were doing it anyway. We were allowing it to happen. It was just hard for scheduling for some departments. This makes it a little bit more concise, and the department heads be able to plan accordingly around vacations and holidays and things like that. So we felt like that this was a benefit, for us to do it this way. I'm trying to remember your second question.
The second one was, is there flexibility? I think if 6 months from now, this is an issue and we need to change it, yes, we would bring that back to the board, just like we do, any policy, whether personnel, finance, whatever, that needs tweaking, we can get it on the agenda, bring it back to the board. And if it comes in, and I mean, it's just a tremendous hardship situation, and we've not had time to get it back to the board, we can work with that as we need to. But we would certainly bring it back to you all if it's an issue to change it.
And the hardship of an ill child is covered separately from this, so
Correct.
there's already that flexibility if it's a medical condition.
That's correct, yes, ma'am. This is, again, just for the bonding of a child. So any hardship dealing with sickness or anything would be totally separate. But we can get it back to you all, and with 2 board meetings a month, we can get it back to you all pretty quickly if we need to tweak it.
Okay, any further questions? Thank you, Ms. Whitley.
May I add one thing?
Go ahead.
So just for the care of a sick child, I want y'all to know that can happen at any time. They can do it in days or week increments. That's completely separate for bonding. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion to adopt this policy by Alderman Spanis, second by Mayor Pro Tem Gorham. All in favor? It's unanimous. All right, Mr. Swisher, if you could go over the June 2nd items.
June 2nd, it looks like you have, let me look before I tell you for sure.
A through E are public hearing, A through F are
Yeah,
public hearings.
A through E, public hearings dealing with rezonings. Item A is a rezoning on Highway 66. Which one is that, Catherine?
This is the vacant parcel next to Dario at Stafford Center.
That's correct, yep. So that's that one. Item B is the Congress Gardens, that is the former Dudley University site. Item C is a voluntary annexation for Brookford Road. And item D is, I think item D goes along with C, correct? And that's the same parcel. Item
D and E go together.
D and E go together, yes. That is for the rezoning of a parcel on Kernersville Medical Parkway and Brookford Road. It's 21.02 acres. It's from RS20 to RM18C. So that is the public hearings regarding rezonings. Item F is a public hearing. That is the proposed operating budget for fiscal year 26-27. You all have the budget. It was delivered on Friday. And then we have one right now, I think one public session item consideration of an ordinance for budget amendment number 11 for fiscal year 25-26, or wrapping up the budget amendments as we're wrapping up the year. And then you have the consent agenda. You have the Kernersville Women's Club lease. That's a standard lease that the town enters into with the Kernersville Women's Club. That is the facility located on Salisbury Street. We lease that to the Women's Club, and they operate that every year. And then we have some appointments to volunteer boards and commissions, and then the closed session and regular session minutes.
Okay, any questions? When do you expect to have the memo about boards and commissions uploaded?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. All right. That brings us back to our regular agenda. So we are to your report, Mr. Swisher.
I don't have anything else tonight. I do have one item that I may have on the agenda for next week. We talked about it a few months ago about applying for the SAFER grant, which is a staffing for adequate fire emergency response. We talked about it before the budget, but the board did not vote at that time to approve to apply for it. It's what it is. It's for personnel in the fire rescue department. As you all know, we hired 6 new firefighters, started this year. In January, we needed 12 to fully staff the rescue truck. As you all are aware, those other 6 are not in the budget for 26-27. So it's what we did was said, let's just wait and see if we get them in the budget. If we don't, we'll come back to you all for permission to apply for the SAFER grant. We have that grant ready to go. I think it's due, that may be the one that's due June 11th. No, it's actually due June the 22nd. So I'll probably have that as part of my report on Tuesday, and I'll get it out to you before that. So what that grant does is it pays, I think it pays 100% in year 1, depending on how many years they do it. If they do it 4 years, it's usually 100, 150, and then 0. So by year 4, we would be responsible for the salary of the 6 individuals. But it's one of those grants that if you know that you're going to need the personnel, it's good to apply. It takes a while to get through the grant process. It's good to go ahead and apply for them. You get them, and like I say, the first 2 years, usually the first 2 years, sometimes depending on how they award it, it may not be 100 and 100. It might be 100 and then 75. But we'll know that if we apply for it and get awarded the grant. So that probably will be all I have as far as I know. Tuesday night, I have nothing else tonight.
Okay, thank you. Ed, do you have anything this evening?
No, Madam Mayor, do not have any report tonight.
Thank you. All right, we are to matters to be presented by the mayor and board of aldermen. Alderman Sabanis?
Well, we already discussed my item, which was the resolution opposing Duke. Really glad that we had a public speaker today speak on it. That was unexpected. And I hope that our citizens know that we are listening. We want to make sure that this is a good place and a happy place for all of us to live. And if as issues come up, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank
Mr.
you.
Apple?
I just want to say that I've stated this in previous meetings, but it's a pleasure to serve with a board who is open-minded, who is astute to changes that are varying degrees of breadth that affect our residents. And you've got a good group up here, folks, looking after your interests, and we're going to continue to do that. So I'm very proud to serve with our board.
I'd just like to say congratulations to Blaine, who is graduating from high school, and that's why his dad is not at the meeting tonight. So congratulations to Blaine. And you may remember he delivered the Pledge of Allegiance during COVID for us by video, multiple occasions. So we wish him the best. Mayor Pro Tem Gorham?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I would like to extend an invitation to the citizens of Kernersville to come out and celebrate with us on the 19th of June. We'll be celebrating Juneteenth at Harmons Park here in Kernersville. Every year, Our celebration has grown, and it's going to be on a Friday night this year. And I'm hoping that we have another grand showing for our celebration. This year is the educational part of our Juneteenth. We will be showcasing the Buffalo Soldiers, which consists of the 24th, 25th Infantry and the 9th and 10th Cavalry. So come out and join with us, and let's just have a good time to celebrate, because it's part of our 250th celebration of America. Thank you.
Alderman Pegram?
Yes, as always, I appreciate the opportunity to serve the people of Kernersville, and my door is always open for you.
All right, is there any further business before the board this evening? If not, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Gorham, second by Alderman Pegram. All in favor? It's unanimous. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.